Alright, so I'm in Photoshop now, and I'm going to make a checkered pattern. This time, the checkered pattern is going to have something a little bit different about it. So I'm going to choose 128 by 128. You know, you can either do 128 by 128 or 256 by 256. I think I'll do 256. Could divide this up, and then I'm going to do the checkerboard pattern just like I did with the non-organics back in the other chapters. But this time I'm just going to do one different thing. I'm going to put a character down here. Just like that. And I'll do that over here. And I'll do it up here, but this time I'm going to change what it says. I'm going to put maybe a 0 there. It doesn't matter what this says, mind you. The idea behind it is to make sure that your UVs are kind of uniformed in areas that you need them to be. Okay. There we go. So that's my new pattern. So this, I'm going to go and define pattern. Sure. And then I'm going to make a new. This time I'm making something a little bit bigger. When I do organic geometry or texturing, you know, I shoot for the top and then later on I can go down. So 2048 is about my standard for any UVing or for a head model or any organics, mind you. So I'm going to use pattern, and there we go. Wow, that really hurts your eyes. So, but this is badly needed. So now I can see how much resolution I'm getting on the model. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is take this and save it as, and I'm going to put this within this. And then I'm going to bring it into here. So I'm dragging that into the texture tab. And here's my head model. I got a material that came in from ZBrush. I'm just going to use it. And then I'm going to put this here as default. Okay. That came in when I used the Go Z. You can make a new one. It's not really important. And there we go. In this case, what I'm looking for is the ability to see all the characters on it the same height and width. I'm not really too concerned about this stuff in the back. That stuff gets merged anyway. It's more important to know where your resolution is going. Case in point, if you go in here to UV Texture Editor, click on the head model, and go into dim image. I can drag this here, and right now there would be quite a lot of resolution in the area of the face because the face is taking up a large majority of the square. But remember, we're going to stay within the actual UV quadrant here. So when I shrink this down, I'm going to be losing a lot of detail in the facial area. So I need to know how to maybe capture back those details. And if you zoom in, you can see if you can read these numbers or not, but that's a large area right here. And that means, you know, you have all this potential map area out here that's not being utilized. Now, there's a give and take here. You know, sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. But here, I have lattice tools, okay? So I can go to a lattice tool and kind of take this out a little further. Also, I'm kind of matching these up. So this point is here, this point's here. So that's at least making it so the space on the outside is not being wasted. Again, we're going to have some kind of seam, but in this case now, I get a little bit more detail. There we go. And as far as the face is concerned, that might be enough detail right there just to get by. Just make sure there's no overlapping seams. That didn't change much, but at least now I don't feel so guilty about wasting some space over in the outside edge. You can also try, now that everything is kind of one part, to grab a few of these and you can unfold, and you'll find that you might get a lot more detail that way. But I usually wait till I put them on the platter before that works. There we go. That's very nice. So you can see now those characters aren't so squished out on certain occasions because I unfolded them. I'm going to try that here also. So I'm going to grab maybe everything on this side just as an experiment and unfold. And I don't really like the results of that, but you can see right here the zeros. If I unfold this, you can see a lot of the characters on this side I can read. So all the ones actually make sense now. On this side, you see how this 0 is very stretched out, and that's what we don't want. Here's the 0 on this side compared to the 0 on this side. So that's why it's important to make this type of mapping for the character. That way you know what's being stretched and what's being not stretched. Again, it really helps having a midline to be able to pull this off half the time too. So in this case, all zeros and ones are not warped. Now I can take the complete shell, go back to the scale tool and scale it up. I had to kind of stretch the UVs out for a minute there using the lattice tool just so I can grab them a little easier sometimes. So again, the most important part here is to get all the ones and zeros so you can read them without them being warped all over the place. You're also going to see, since these are so big in this area and so small in this area, you're going to actually get more bang for the buck here. So you're going to have more quality in the neck than I am in the face. This is something I'm going to have to live with, however, because I want to stay within the 0-to-1 ratio. Alright, now how to get it back into ZBrush on the next video.